everybody? Welcome to Who You Got with
Mellow.
and Rado. It's a sports podcast where we talk your favorite sports debates, sports highlights, and sports matchups. And if you guys are watching the video right now, please make sure you go ahead and click that like button and make sure you guys subscribe to our page. We love every single one of you guys, every
Oh
single
yeah.
fan. We're fans as well, so we got to stick together, baby. And if you guys are on Twitch, make sure you guys go ahead and follow us there. And if you guys want to check out our Patreon, we got some really cool stuff coming ahead in the next few months for you guys there. We also got some merch for you guys there. So check out our page, patreon.com/who you got. And you could check us out on our personal pages. I'm at The Iconic Dude on Instagram at Mello.
Mellow the Notorious.
That's right. That's right. And this week, we got a really fun week for you guys. Mello, let the people know what we're doing.
Oh yes. We are pretty much a couple weeks away from the playoff, and it is prime time to take a chance to look back at our season award predictions and do some sort of three-fourths mid-season award episode. See where we landed so far in the season with some of our picks, and if we didn't land so well, I guess who's our new pick? Who we think is that new front
Exactly.
runner for all these awards? And that's basically what we're here for today, man.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. I'm very excited to be able to like react to some of our old picks because we always make predictions. On this show we love to make predictions, and we
Mm-hmm.
always say though we always come back to our predictions if we're wrong or right. We're not gonna shy away from even being wrong on a prediction, and it's gonna be fun to see like how wrong we might have been or
Especially
how right we might have been.
especially if we're wrong, cause I already know I was wrong on some of them, and I'm just like, oh man, the season some of these people had, that's not what I expected.
I mean, there was definitely a few on my case too. I mean, I'll be honest, like I checked out some of my picks from the video, and I did see that like a few I got correct as far
I
as
was
how they're
close on a
doing.
few.
Yeah, so we'll definitely go through them and see, but it's just fun to see like if we were like totally wrong on one case because I know straight up right now when we're talking about it anything, I was definitely wrong about the Jets all season. I definitely didn't think they were gonna do what they were gonna do, so.
Mm-hmm.
The Jets is definitely one team I was wrong about, but
Definitely for sure.
definitely picked a few guys on their squad to possibly be
We picked a
award
lot of
winner.
guys.
You know what? Like, why don't we go ahead and go through it? It's gonna be our midseason awards. It's obviously around like week 13 right now, so it's close
Right,
to the end
right.
of the season. So we're pretty much projecting who we think is gonna win, as well as
Actually
like,
win the award, exactly, basically.
yeah,
And also we did this episode with a good friend of ours, Jordan Grills. It was our Bill table smashing episode. The
okay,
man, the myth, the legend started that trend. So during these videos, you will see a random or hear a random voice talking with us. That's who that is.
that's right, that's right. Yeah, I mean, I know if Jordan wants to come
Yes,
on
he
the
will
show like at the
100% be back for the final
season. We'll do
season
like
show. Yes.
we'll definitely do another one with him, which I definitely want to. He's a great character and
Oh
great
yeah, he already said
story.
he's coming
Great
back, y'all.
story.
So we'll definitely make sure we put him in there. Because at the end of the day, we want to fully see. Like this is just for us, Hey, we've had multiple episodes. We've got an idea of how the season's shaking out. Let's get a little taste of what we did have and what we might have. But yeah, we definitely gotta take the original picks again at the end of the season and really see. Because some of these people. Might be far off, but some of them might not just be the top front runner. They still have a couple more weeks to get themselves up there. So it's
True.
definitely going to be interesting. End of the season and obviously playoff run because the playoffs do help some of their cases and it might break some of their cases. So
For some. I mean, we know that all these are supposed to be regular season awards for sure, but
right.
obviously for some of them, it definitely pushes them into the final echelon, like, and if they get into the playoffs and beyond. But let's just go ahead and get into it. The top award is obviously the MVP, man. That's what everybody wants to know this season. Who's gonna win the MVP?
Oh
Um,
yeah, I
and
would say
we had our predictions in the beginning of the season, and I definitely want to know what we said. I know you guys want
yes.
to know.
I definitely I remember this for sure. Because while it's not looking the best, it's still looking good. Uh, I was I was believing in the beginning of the season, and not only did I pick the Bills as a team to do well, I 100% had the top pick for my MVP is Josh Allen, and I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen, and we can go ahead and see what I had to say about him.
Let's hear it from Mello.
My MVP prediction is Josh Allen. I
Whoa.
would have never thought I would have picked him. Even a couple weeks ago, I was
Mm-hmm.
honestly still thinking between him and Mahomes. But at the
Ooh.
end of the day, he got some weapons. He runs, he throws, and with that defense, being able to basically give him more opportunity to make plays, I really think he's gonna throw up. I'm not gonna say historic numbers. I don't think that far, but he's gonna have a
Right.
really, really.
Pick of I mean, wow, Melo, you definitely believed in Josh Allen.
I did. I had some high praises for the man going into the season. Like I said, I didn't think he was going to put up historic numbers. But that Bills offense, especially the receiving core, and the fact that they clearly didn't get no running back added, definitely looked like they were going to be prolific. Still good offense, still a good receiving core, but they've lost a couple games at this point. Some that most people felt like they shouldn't have, and in those games, their offense did struggle.
Yeah,
So
I gotta give it to you though. Like, I mean, like what you said was pretty much on point. Like he was having a historic season, pretty much first half of the season,
he
and
was looking good.
even the guy you said that you were going back and forth with. I mean, you were pretty correct with Mahomes and Allen are probably like the top two right now in the MVP conversation. So going into it now, like who do you think is the MVP now?
And my second choice is now my first choice. At this point, Mahomes is looking exceptional. I remember when they said, I think it was last year when they first actually really introduced the stat. It was like the man don't lose in the end of the year. When it comes to November, December, and playoff time, obviously he loses in the playoff here and there, but basically the man shows up. And right now, what they're on 5 game win streak. In
Yep.
that span, he's thrown over for 300 yards each time, 12 touchdowns, and that 300 yards is pretty much that 300 yards plus is equal to 1849 in 5 games with only 4 interceptions. So my man is looking prolific right now. Um, Kelsey obviously is top receiver, but losing Tyreek, we didn't know what we were going to see this year. Juju and Scotland were exceptional pickups. Both of
Yes,
them,
hundred
literally, I
percent.
think averaging over like 500-600 yards right now. Kelsey got over 1,000, so his offense and those receivers are still going. And right now they got a decent running back too, and Pacheco playing a good game. So I think they're gonna keep winning as a team, and he's gonna keep excelling as a quarterback. So I definitely, and I got them having a deep playoff run. Um,
Yes.
and at this point, there's no debating it. They're the clear favorites in the AFC. So at this point, he's
Oh
got to
yeah.
be my front runner for MVP.
I mean, yeah, they've clearly been favorites for the last 4 years, and I mean, I'll be honest, like either way that you went, Josh Allen or Mahomes, I mean, you actually on that one, you you made a pretty good prediction, man. I'll give it to you. But I mean, if you go into my prediction now,
All right,
what
who
we
you
had,
got? Who did you
ooh,
have?
oh man, so going into the season, I was a little bit of believer in the Chargers, and I still am a believer in the Chargers. I'm a believer in the Chargers and Justin Herbert. I believe that Justin Herbert was going to have a historic season actually. And why don't we just let the people hear what I
he
had to
said,
say about
he said,
Justin?
let's just let the tape play.
This year's MVP is actually Justin Herbert, and
Nice.
I've been saying this from like for at least like a month. I think the Chargers right now they're literally like they're set. They got Eckler in the backfield, they got Mike Williams, and they got Allen on the outside. So they got two great receivers. Obviously, he's gonna be slinging it. That West Coast offense is gonna help him. They're gonna be. I think he's gonna possibly get 5,000 yards this year. Probably like 49, 50, like close to 5,000. Hey, I was just slightly off.
You know what? He's he's still up there. I think he's still top five
Yeah, he's top
in
five in
yards right now.
yards. He's
Yeah,
got
he's
over
like
3,000 yards. You know, the only thing is his interception rate is terrible right now. He's got 14 interceptions right now.
that's that
Two,
slinging it.
I'm sorry, no, 14 touchdowns with 2 interceptions. That's what he's got. Not that many touchdowns. And I was wrong about Keenan Allen. I thought he was gonna play really good this year. Obviously, he's been out though for like 6 weeks. And honestly, man, he's been playing good. He's been playing well enough to I think they're gonna get their team into the playoffs. So I do think he is gonna be in that conversation if he ups his play a little bit more because he does have the yards, not the touchdowns at all, but the yards are
He
there.
needs the touchdowns. I feel for a quarterback, they're gonna make it like you said 14 for the season.
He's got 14, but But people have been in a conversation and they've had like 20 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. When you have low interceptions, is like they kind of like look at that as, the interception to touchdown ratio. But the only thing I gotta say is, like, I'll be honest, like right now at this moment, and I have to change my pick too as my MVP. I think that, even though he's gonna be in a conversation, Herbert, I think clear and by far is gonna be Mahomes. Mahomes is like already just the top dog, like 400 yards over Josh Allen,
Hmm.
over like 8 touchdowns over anybody else. If we count rushing and passing. So my man is like literally balling out this season. He still only has 8 interceptions, which is decent.
Hmm. And
Pretty
he's
much
projected to finish at 5,500 yards with 45
exactly
touchdowns.
with 45 touchdowns. And I do think that Justin Herbert is going to finish 5,000 yards. Like I said, I think he is going to get that 5,000 finally. Because last year he was close, but I do think that without his interceptions, I'm sorry, without his touchdowns being at around 30, there's no way he's going to be at the top one in here. Even though he's got a really good passer rating, like if you look at Justin Herbert's passer rating, it's decent. It's just they're not passing the ball as much as Mahomes is. He's
Right.
slinging it more as far as like in the red zone. They're obviously getting more touchdowns. They're using their running game more in the Chargers. So I think Mahomes is clear cut top dog
Oh
right
yeah,
now. He's
I
killing
definitely think. Obviously, he was one of the top favorites, but not only just him, but his team, they separated themselves from the rest of the pack in the last couple of weeks.
100%. And I mean, like you were saying, like my man does not lose in November. He has yet to lose a game in November since he's been in the league.
Hmm.
So.
And it's not looking that bad for December either. So I
Mhm.
think they're gonna have some good success. Obviously, score some touchdowns and obviously do what they gotta do on that side of the ball. So our next award is basically on the other side of the ball. We already know who. We already said who we think is gonna be that front runner for MVP. Let's talk about
Right.
defensive player of the year. Do you remember who you chose for that award?
I think I remember. I did. I do remember. Because I was going between two. I remember I was going between two, but it was Nick Bosa that I chose. It was from the
That's right.
49ers. I thought Nick Bosa was gonna win it. Um. So yeah, I think that was my choice. Yeah. So let's hear what I had to
Let's hear
say
the
about
tape.
him.
Yeah, let's definitely see.
I was thinking about TJ Watt for a while, just watching, even like having to watch the first game, but obviously he's going to be out a while now, at least 6 games they're talking about. So I think he's out of the defensive player of the year conversation. I was obviously thinking about Aaron Donald as well, but I think a little bit of, voter fatigue is going to happen, and he
Right.
might not have as great a year as Bosa is. I think, like you said, he was playing on a team that has a great defense. Like, yeah, they didn't have a great game, you know, week 1, but we'll see the rest of the year. I think that
So that's who you had. Okay, okay.
You know what? I mean, Bosa's had a decent year most of the year. Like yeah, he had a game off as well. So at this point, he might not be that top, contender, but I think he is still in the conversation of defensive player of the year.
Yeah, he
He
is.
will be in that conversation at the end of the year as well. And the 49ers, I definitely, I still believe they got a top 5 defense, and they will at the end of the year as well.
Hmm.
Surprisingly, with Garoppolo, they've been playing better than with Lance, which I would have figured, that type of offense, obviously it's a more West Coast style of offense that they try to like throw it deep. Obviously they got Kettle, they got Debo Samuel, but they still using those little screens, those triple options that they've been doing. So, that offense has
Oh
been
yeah,
steady,
they're in heaven right now in offense.
and the defense has been keeping them in games, which is
Yeah, they
crazy.
have.
But you know what? I might have to switch my pick though. I might have to switch my pick, even though I believe in him. I do believe in him. I just think that this year, the man that I'm about to say is having an amazing year. Micah Parsons, incredible year. Like
100%.
interceptions, sacks. Obviously, everyone knows sacks, tackles for loss, touchdowns. He's gotten played special teams and points. He's done it all. He's gotten blocked field goals that help games. So my man is like literally playing an amazing game right now for the Cowboys, and the Cowboys don't have the best secondary, and he like definitely helps them out because he puts so much pressure on the quarterback that he helps out the secondary so much that they could literally like stay back around 3-4 yards from the wide receivers, the
Right.
cornerbacks that is, and he can get his jump off and try to sack the quarterback. He's so good at going around the outside. I think that right now he's clear favorite for me, and I just think that he's a sensational player to watch, honestly.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing you got to remember. Year two.
Mm.
Last year, he was a few votes away from becoming, I think, the second rookie to win Defensive Player of the Year. And obviously, at this year, he came looking a whole lot better. I definitely think I'm pretty sure he is a front runner right now.
He's one of them,
That's
yeah.
that's not who I chose to begin the year, and that's actually not who I'm sticking with right now.
Okay.
So beginning of the year, I thought that you and your boys was gonna help me out a lot more because I definitely chose Aaron Donald, and the Rams have been disappointing all year.
I
Like I ain't
know.
gonna lie, bro. I had picked up in one of my fantasy leagues. I picked up Matt Stafford. Like I got Trevor Lawrence starting right now because I couldn't find nobody else. But Matt couldn't stay starting. Like
Yo,
I
I,
couldn't keep
I
that
picked
man.
him up too in one of my leagues, and I almost had to change my name because I had my name is the Stafford Bandits, and I had to switch my name. It was so bad this year, but nah,
Yeah,
I
no,
stuck I
he
stuck
has
with him.
been bad.
Yeah,
I started off with Aaron Donald. I thought that even though they lost Von Miller, that they were going to find a way to throw more defensive schemes, and just get some pressure. And obviously, I'll go ahead and explain that right here.
let's hear it.
And for me, it's an easy choice. You both guys already said it. Nothing else needs to be said. It's the
Yeah.
best defensive player in the league, Aaron Donald. I
Ooh.
don't, I don't think there's going to be a photo fatigue. I think without Von Miller, they're going to try to, and they actually did. Not that Aaron Donald showed out, but they throwing a lot of different defensive schemes at teams because they don't have Von Miller to throw on the opposite side of Aaron. So yeah, Aaron's going to get little bit more double teams and triple teams, but I think the Rams are going to be more creative, and he's still going to get a lot of tackles.
Somebody surprised.
I was wrong.
I mean, you know what? It's the Rams that had a bad season. That's
Yeah,
what was
no,
the problem.
that
You
was
know,
what the problem was.
because
That's the problem. The Rams are not, and he's not doing bad, but like if no one else is coming up to the plate, like those triple teams are working out because they don't care about
exactly.
nobody else. They don't care about the scheme. They don't care about you providing pressure.
Exactly. I
Uh,
mean, like he's still having a decent season, this year, but I mean, like my man's had sack. He's had like two sacks in a game. He's had tackles for loss, multiple tackles for loss, which is very helpful. But overall, nine sacks was one of his top years. Right now, he's at 5 this year in
and
11 games, which is not bad.
five isn't bad. No, yeah. But he's not making anyone jump out the stands. Obviously
Exactly.
Micah Parsons is. But
Mm.
truthfully,
So
I
who you got though for the
I
defense
got
player here
someone
though?
who I look at the stats for this one. It's not going to be a fan
Hmm.
favorite, but I think especially with the trade, a deep playoff run, already made an impact. I got Roquan Smith, linebacker that
Ooh,
just got
yeah.
traded to the Ravens.
Ravens.
So people don't understand. Like on the Bears, I think came like 2 sacks away. I don't remember if it was 100% total, so don't quote me on that. But he was basically like right there to Brian Urlacher's uh,
Remember
rookie
that
record for
rookie
tackles.
record? Yep. Hmm.
Then 2019, 100 tackles
Yep.
despite missing 4 games. And
That's
pretty
right.
much
That's right. He
in
missed those games.
he missed four
That's
games.
crazy.
In
Yeah.
2020, first linebacker to top 130 tackles in the season since Lance Briggs and Urlacher. So
Wow.
now we coming up to this year, and pretty much in that year he added 5 sacks and 2 interceptions.
Whew.
This year he's eighth in tackles, and I love it because ESPN always be having them random ass stats that people like, how the hell you think about that? I found a random ass stat, right?
What's
This
this
year,
one?
he's the only person with
Hmm.
over 100 tackles and over 3 sacks. He has
What?
103 tackles,
He's
which is
already got
eighth
it
in
in
the
11
league,
games.
and he
100.
exactly, and he got
Dang.
3.5 sacks. The only person that is close is Derwin James from the
Wow.
Chargers. He has exactly 100 tackles with 4 sacks. So to be
Wow.
able to apply that much pressure, still be able to get your tackles, get through the. He only got like I think 5 interceptions this year, which is for a linebacker. That's not bad either.
That's
Uh,
great. Are you kidding
that's
me?
that's
That's
great as
that's
hell.
huge. Like, I mean, he's got that many tackles and he's got those interceptions. That's honestly
No,
great.
I'm tripping.
Like,
He's got two. I'm sorry. He's
okay,
got
yeah,
two picks. Yes. He's
yeah, yeah, yeah,
projected
yeah. Oh,
to
he's
get
projected
three
to
more.
5.
Yeah,
okay, yeah.
but I don't
That's
think
right.
that's
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
happen. But he got two, but still two picks for a linebacker, top 10 in tackles. For a
Still great,
linebacker,
man. Still
he's
great.
top 20 in sacks. So he's just applying a lot of pressure. Like I said, the acquisition from him going to the Ravens, I think is that Ravens defense needed that. He's gonna have a chance to shine, and obviously a deep playoff run will help. So I know Micah Parsons is the clear favorite. I'll be honest, I'm not even sure if Smith's on a lot of people's list, but the stats don't lie for me. He's been one of the top-notch defensive players of the year, of the year since he got into the league, basically. So I definitely, I'm gonna stick with the off the wall pick. Obviously, I would just go with Michael Parsons. I do think he's a clear favorite, and if he keeps, like you said, he keeps shining in specific moments, where it's like he win games or show up when you need him. So
True.
that's what I thought
That's
Donald was gonna do this year.
right,
But it's
right. I
Michael
mean,
Parsons.
I kind of told you that Aaron Donald was gonna have a little bit of trouble this year. Not only just the voter fatigue, but there was definitely gonna be like problems with the Rams' offensive line. I knew that they were gonna have problems, and obviously their middle linebackers are terrible now since they don't got Von Miller. But
Hmm.
yeah, the Rams definitely have trouble. But honestly, I'll be honest with you, that Roquan Smith pick, it's a great pick, and I think
The
he
stats
might be under
support
the
it, but he's
radar
not a fan favorite exactly.
just for him getting over 100 tackles right now at 11 games is incredible to me. Obviously there's only one other guy in the league right now that has it, but like it's so tough to do that. It's averaging like 9-10 sacks a game. My man is balling now. Obviously since he went to the Ravens, he's doing even
Now
better.
I forgot what it was, but that first game, like I think he had like 5, 6 tackles, a
Mhm.
sack, and I think it was 2 tackles for a loss. So it was just a
Nice.
good game, a good
Yeah.
individual game.
Yeah, he had a sack and then he had two tackles for a loss, I remember, and then I'm sure he had like many tackles, but I mean, you know, I still can't like I mean I still I'm kind of going back and forth between Micah Parsons and Nick Bosa, and I had to go with Parsons just 'cause I think he's gonna be more the household name, and
He's a
how good
flashy
he's gonna be.
favorite.
Exactly. And honestly, Nick is not having like too bad of a season because he's already at 11 and a half sacks. So he's still doing amazing as well, but obviously we know who the favorite is. We know who the favorite
Nah,
is.
for sure, for sure. And obviously, all of them are just destroying on that side of the ball.
True.
And those are our picks for defensive player of the year. Let's move back to the other side of the ball.
Go back to the
Uh,
offensive side of the ball, yeah.
exactly. We did the MVP, but obviously MVP is a whole different award than offensive player of the year. And it's nice because I feel like this actually gives a chance for basically the receivers and the running backs and maybe even tight ends to get their recognition. So
That's
who did
true.
you
That's true.
pick for offensive player of the year?
Yeah, so our first few predictions, they weren't like too bad. They weren't terrible. They might have not been right on point, but they weren't too terrible. But I'll be honest, like this one, I think I got right on point, and I just want you to play it for the people. I want them to decide.
Yes, sir.
Surprise teams of the year was actually the Minnesota Vikings, and I mean, just from week one, I even said that they were going to be slightly better than Green Bay this year, and just watching them week one, you saw what they were doing, and surprisingly, it's not Kirk Cousins, but it's actually his wide receiver, Justin Jefferson. Like he went off, obviously. Oh my God, let me
Three for
find out.
three.
Our boy
That's
Jordan
wild.
picked the same
Yeah,
pick.
way.
That's wild.
y'all kept picking the same pick. That's exactly what that was. 3 for 3. I know that is funny.
I don't believe it.
Yep, I did. That's 3 for 3, guys.
All right. I'm gonna let you talk about him a little bit more then. So Justin Jefferson is my pick. I mean, I really thought that Minnesota was gonna do a lot of great things this year, and I had to pick him. I just think that he's gonna be what Jamar Chase was last year, but even
He's
even
gonna
better.
be what Cooper Cup was last year because now he's running Cooper Cup's scheme.
True, exactly. Very very true. Very true. Cooper Cup's game. Yeah.
Yeah, man. And honestly, I'm sticking with my pick. I'm sticking with my pick. That's the pick that I'm going with. Justin Jefferson. He's had an incredible season. I think right now he's favored to win the award so far. I
Hmm.
mean, he's top dog in yards as well. Over 1,000 yards already, over 1,200 yards. So I mean, my man is like on pace to get 2,000 yard mark by Calvin Johnson. So if he keeps it up, he can get the 2,000 yard mark. And you were totally right about those Cooper Cup schemes. They're running exactly those Cooper Cup
He's
schemes out there.
it's not just that it's not flashy, but it also is because he is who he is, so athletic and he get up there. But they don't try to be flashy. They can if they want, but they just consistently get him the ball.
Oh yeah, but last year they were using them on the outside, kind of like Jamar Chase. They're trying to get, just get
They were
those
just
deep
trying to get
routes.
it exactly. Now they're
Now
just
they're definitely using them in the middle more. They're having him do those wide receiver screens. Like he had a touchdown that was like 72 yards or something like that, wide receiver screen, and he took it to the house earlier this season. So I mean, I think he's an incredible player, and I definitely I'm sticking with my pick, Justin Jefferson, man. What a wide receiver.
yeah, no, like you said, it's a clear favorite. You can't even go wrong with sticking with that pick. I'll be honest, I'm more of a running person, so I
Okay,
love my
okay.
running backs. Beginning of the
Show him
year,
some love. Show him some love. Nobody else does.
I always love my running backs. So
I know, right?
I think they're the workhorses.
Me too. Me too. I
This
believe.
is becoming a more of a throwing league, and I get that, but they're still the workhorses. But beginning of the year, I definitely chose Derrick Henry. I knew just what he did the year before being injured. I'm like, let that man come back to somewhat close, and we're gonna have a problem. So let's see what I had to say.
Let's hear it.
Here was honestly 100% so easy. I'm going to go with the person that was in the top 10 rushing last year that was injured for half the season, Derrick Henry. You let that man have anything close to an average season, and he's going to be the best running back in the league. And while a lot of MVPs go to quarterbacks, basically, I think he's going to be a shoo-in for Offensive Player of the Year.
If
Hey, I mean, I'll be honest, man. That's not
So
that.
it
That's not a
wasn't
bad
bad.
pick.
He
Oh,
is up there. Surprisingly, not even the top leader in rushing.
no, he's
Josh
not.
Jacobs
Josh
has been
Jacobs.
killing it. And then I was like, well, I think Josh Jacobs might. The Raiders season's kind of over. That they might just run the ball. So I think Josh Jacobs might take that rushing title and Offensive Player of the Year. But then I'm like, if they keep doing bad, I don't think it's gonna happen. And then it really came down to obviously the clear choice, like you said, Justin Jefferson. Like my man has been
Yeah,
absolutely
man.
destroying it.
Oh no.
9 for 139 and a touchdown in New England on Thanksgiving after torching Buffalo. Pretty much.
He
So
torched that whole division, bro. He torched like Buffalo, Patriots, the Jets. Like he torched
he's
them all.
been killing it. Like you said, flashy, uh, great highlight catches, household name. Team is doing great. They're definitely going to be in the playoffs. Pretty much, he's second in receiving yards with 1232, only behind Tariq. 100 plus yards 7 times this season. Third in receptions. Second in 20 plus games behind Tyreek. Second in 40 plus games behind Diggs. Second third in targets and third in yards after catch, and most of the people in front of him is pretty much Tyreek and Diggs.
Right.
So pretty much an elite company at this point.
Elite.
Over 1,200 yards, 5 touchdowns so far, so he should get at least a few more. And right now he's just averaging 6.5 yards and just killing it. Actually, no,
And,
15.2. He's
yeah,
averaging 15.2. That
which is
6.5 is the Russian.
15.2. That's because he like literally slots up in the middle. He goes
Third in
like and
yards
gets
after
those
catch.
screens, and he gets those like long runs, pretty much that are those long running blocking plays. So he gets blockers in front of him, and then he just runs. And I mean, for him to do this,
Yeah.
he's a second year receiver, which is crazy.
Exactly. So I expect
Insane
them
for
to
him to do this.
continue to show out the rest of the year.
Exactly. And one thing that Jordan said in that one podcast that we did, the table smashing podcast with Jordan, he said that, he looks at Justin Jefferson as already the third best receiver in the Vikings uniform. And at that time, I was kind of like,
Skeptic.
kind of hesitant. I was skeptic. I was just, waiting to kind of see because he hasn't been there for too many years. 2 years is, nothing. You still got Thielen there, who's been there for like 8-9 years.
Right. Now he's already over Thielen.
Yeah, I gotta say, Chris Carter, Randy Moss, and now Justin Jefferson are the top three. And not saying in that order, but particularly by I'm just saying I think Justin Jefferson's up there now at the top three Viking receiver.
100%. And at this point, it's his award to lose, truthfully. Even if Josh Jacobs become the Russian leader, like it's just his award to lose. That's just who everyone's looking to choose at this point. Especially with the last couple of weeks of performances he put just skyrocketed him to the top.
Yeah, barring any injury, and we don't wish that on anybody. We hope he does amazing. But I'll be honest, like even Derrick Henry has a shot if the Titans, they're using him a lot this season. He's got over 11 touchdowns. He's got over 10 touchdowns. So I think he could definitely he has a shot. He has a shot if let's say Justin doesn't do good, the last like 4 games of the season, you know. But I honestly, if he gets over 2,000, that's going to be an incredible feat for him.
Yeah, that will. He'll definitely. At this point, it's still we got a couple weeks left. That's why it's not technically mid-season, but the season ain't over. So we definitely got some people who still got a chance to go up or go down.
True. Yeah, that's true. So I mean, we were talking a little bit about who we think the offensive player of the year is going to be, but I actually had like a little thought about that as well in our prediction episode that I did put a caveat that it could be somebody as long as he has a decent year. Can you play that real quick for us?
Oh yeah, as long as he don't get injured. And let's see who he is.
About this guy that I'm about to say stays healthy for the rest of the year, I think he could be in that conversation too. Christian McCaffrey, if he stays healthy, they're going to use him as a
look at your face
and a runner, so he's going to get a lot of yards, a lot of.
It's not even if he stay healthy; it's when he's getting injured again. Like, I'm so over that man.
Why I said
he screwed me over in so many fantasy leagues. I'm just so dumb.
Yeah, so I mean, I did say if he gets healthy, and I wasn't exactly sure if my man was gonna. I mean, I wasn't sure if he was gonna get traded, but after the season they had, we knew he kind of was in the middle of the season. So now he's on a team that's playoff bound, and he's doing great. He's doing great. So
he's not playing bad at all. I mean, he's not gonna be up there, but it gives him a good opportunity to look forward to next year for sure.
Yeah, or he could be looking at a different award. Looking down the.
Yeah.
Talking about.
I think there's a couple more people that's more deserving, but I feel you.
For sure. I'm just saying he might be in that conversation.
Yeah,
sure.
I hear you.
But that's just a little caveat I had to throw in there for Christian McCaffrey because everyone didn't believe that he was going to stay healthy, and I was the only believer.
And look at I mean, he didn't have a worse season, but it was
It was tough, bro. Playing with Baker. Come on now.
Exactly.
Nah, but next up we're gonna go to the defensive rookie of the year, and obviously we had some pretty good rookies coming out of the college last year. Last year's draft was known as a defensive draft. It wasn't really known for the quarterback. So let's go into that one. The defensive.
Yeah, I thought Aiden Hutchinson was gonna have a good season and a good chance to win this award. Not having a horrible season, but let's just go ahead and see what I had to say about him beginning of the year and what I thought he was gonna do. So I got a Lions pick, defensive lineman Aiden Hutchinson.
Nice.
Hands down best lineman in the draft. With a team like the Lions, he's gonna get nothing but opportunities to get sacks and get tackles and tackles for loss. So while I do think some other people like Sauce Gardner, I think can be one of those. I just don't think he's gonna get a lot of action, and unfortunately, in action for cornerbacks, while it looks good, it doesn't win you awards. So I think it's going to go to a lineman or a linebacker. And right now, I think the best person that has a chance of getting that is Aiden Hutchinson.
Hey.
So, boy, was I wrong. Oh. Aiden Hutchinson is a great pick. But I wasn't wrong about Aiden Hutchinson.
Not at all. You said he was the best linebacker. Best lineman. He is. Exactly. You're 100% right about that.
I was wrong about inactivity, not giving someone an award. What? I didn't have faith in the voters. I was like, man, they not about to throw Sauce Gardner away. But the fact that in the public's eye, he has been pit and matchup upon matchup, week after week. Who's going to be the first person to score on him? Who's going to be the receiver? Like, week after week, he's been thrown up against top receivers. And it's the number one cornerback in the league as a rookie. Hands down, he's about to win this award. Like, I was really worried about I thought he was going to disappear in New York. Like, I really thought that he was going to disappear. But I forgot he was flashy. You know what I'm saying? I forgot he was cocky. And like I said, every week they throwing him in, like, the public every week is, like, pinning the best receiver. So right now, a large role in that New York Jets defense, new and improved, caused them to win a lot of games as well, when no one thought they were going to win this many games. But they're only giving up 328 yards a game. That's 6th in the league. Gardner's literally top cornerback in Pro Bowling, Pro Bowl voting. Obviously, 86.71 focus grade is number one in the league. He's first in the league with 14 passes deflected. And when you think about the amount of time they don't throw his way,
Right.
that's
Exactly.
crazy.
Crazy.
That is crazy. They don't even throw his way, and he still got the most passes defender in the league. He even having a decent season, 32 tackles. 48 tackles. I was 32 solo. And obviously the 2 interceptions. So he's definitely doing his thing. And like I said, I didn't know that he was gonna get this much attention. But yeah, they knew what they got, and I didn't realize the rest of the world knew what he was. But they did. He stepped foot on that field week 1, and they were like, all right, like who's stepping up against Sauce? Not who Sauce stepping up against.
Yeah.
Who's stepping up against Sauce? And that perception just gave him that award, hands down.
It's crazy how early in the league like people started really trying to pressure him. I mean, obviously in the first few weeks of the season he started talking, and I knew that's what was gonna happen because I watched him in college. I love this man, and you know what? Can we just play what I had to say in the defensive rookie of the year conversation? Because I don't really have to say much anymore. I just want to hear my previous prediction.
Rookie of the year, I gotta go with Sauce Gardner, man. I think this guy is literally the next Darrelle Revis, and I really believe in it. I think that he's gonna get a few interceptions this year. They're gonna throw his way because a lot of people are gonna throw on the Jets early. I do think he's gonna get some stops, and he's gonna show out. With a name like Sauce, he has to. Watching him, in college, seeing what he can bring, and I do think that the Jets. Obviously, they really have nothing else around them, but he's going to be a bright spot in that Jets organization.
Right.
And
I thought they had a good draft, honestly. As a Bills fan, I thought their draft was like, whoa, they're going to be a good team 2-3 years down.
So I was right on Sauce, 100%. I think I was right on Sauce, but I was definitely a little bit wrong about the Jets. I didn't think that they were going to have much around them defensively, especially defensively. And I didn't believe in Zach Wilson at all. But other than that, we
didn't need to believe in Zach. The rest of the team held it down.
Exactly, and a lot of them are rookies, which is crazy. But I totally believe what I said before, and I'll say it again. I think Sauce Gardner is like the next Darrelle Revis. I think he's that good. He's got a chance.
Right. He's literally the best rookie in the league right now.
100%.
The best corner in the league right now. As a rookie.
Yeah. 100%. And obviously, if he gets a few more interceptions, then he's gonna look like more of a Revis type of guy. People, he wants to be known as the best corner to ever do it, but he's definitely getting deflections, which is insane. Like the amount of deflections he gets is incredible for a rookie to get that, and they're throwing on him. They're throwing on him every single game, and he's stopping the top dogs like Jamar Chase. He was sad he couldn't get nothing on him. He had like 15 yards on him. I mean, obviously Diggs had an issue with him. Like he's had. I mean, even Justin.
He shut down a few people. Yes.
Justin Jefferson got over 100 on him, but it's.
No, he got 100 on the team.
It wasn't on. Yeah, it wasn't Justin Jefferson. It was you know what? It was Jamar Chase that got over 100. That's what it was. Yeah. Right? Or Tyreek Hill, one of them. Anyway, it was only like literally one receiver in the league got over 100. That's what I'm like. Out of all the game, it was one guy, and everyone else he shut down basically under 50 yards, which is insane. Everybody else is under 50. Like there was one guy. I think it was Tyreek Hill actually. Now that I'm looking at the stats, yeah, it was Tyreek Hill. But you know what? Even so, I still think Sauce Gardner is the man. I think that he's the next thing in New York. And he talks the talk too. He actually gives you a good interview. Post game interviews, he gives them good. He actually gives the people what they want.
Oh yeah, no. And it's good to see in New York, especially we got a lot of good rookies in that Jets draft class. And
wait a minute. Did you just say we for the Jets? You're back?
No, as in.
Oh my bad.
As in we, because we made.
I thought it was your team again. I would have been happy for you, bro.
I don't know. No. We're not doing that. No. But funny enough, for offensive rookie of the year, I actually did pick a Jet.
Oh, nice.
And I think they definitely would have had a good shot if they didn't get injured. So I definitely had Breece Hall, and we'll go ahead and see what I had to say about him. I literally couldn't choose between basically the Jets when it came to offensive rookie of the year. Like, I don't know who y'all chose, but it came down to pretty much Brees Hall and Garrett Wilson for me, and even the other running back. So I'm just gonna skip the queue. I picked Brees Hall. I think that running back's gonna get the most opportunity, and he's pretty much gonna have the best chance on just having the most yards on a pretty much other depleted Jets.
Hey,
And
man.
I was right for most of the season until he got injured. He was actually looking phenomenal.
Word.
Um, so at this point, it's so crazy because he got injured and it ruined his chance to get an award. And now the person who I'm picking in the clear favorite stepped in for another injured running back in Rashad Penny. And I'm talking about Kenneth Walker. He came in pretty much week 5, and in 8 weeks, he already got 613 yards and is fourth in the league with 9 touchdowns.
Hmm.
Having a great season. Pretty much, I think his top game was week 7. He had 168 yards against the Chargers on 23 carries, and right now he's averaging 4.5 carries. So the man is 4.5 yards per carry. The man is a top producing rookie. A lot of the receivers have been a little bit stagnant lately and inconsistent. So it's going to be a hit or miss with that. So I think that as long as he stay consistent, he actually has a very good chance of getting over 1,000 yards. Um, they projected him to finish right under 1,000, but I think with a few more games is what else do the Seahawks have to do besides run the ball? So I definitely think that he has a chance, and if he finishes with over 1,000 yards while missing five games, I definitely think that award is his.
That's what I was gonna say. That's gonna be impressive if he does that, because obviously Rashad Penny was starting the first 5 weeks of the season. I think that is the most impressive part if he gets to it. I mean,
Right.
obviously, if he gets to even like 950, that's still gonna be a impressive feat.
That's still impressive, right?
Right, but I'm just saying that
1,000 look
1,000
good.
sounds better and it looks better as a rookie, especially. Not many rookies get that chance to get 1,000 yards. So for him to be able to get it, that would be. I'll honestly, I probably would have to give it to him if he gets that 1,000 yard feat. That would be very interesting towards the end of the season. We can definitely come back to that. I mean, for me, I went with like a different guy when I made my pick, because I thought it was going to be a wide receiver, because this was also a wide receiver class. There was like 3 top wide receivers that went. It was Garrett Wilson was one of them, and obviously the guy that I went with for my offensive rookie of the year was the other one. It was Josh Dotson for the Washington Commanders. Want to let the people know.
I see here.
I think it's gonna be Jahan Dotson from Washington, the Commanders. I think he's really good receiver. I think that Carson Wentz is gonna. He doesn't have too much to throw to other than him and McLaurin, so I do think he's gonna get a lot of passes thrown to him, easily like 800 to 1,000 yards this year. I could see him having, and I think he could be a good choice for offensive rookie.
We already talked. How's that going for you?
Well, I'll be honest. Like, if he didn't get injured, towards the middle of the season, he had 2 games that he was off. So like, he had a decent season. He had touchdowns in the beginning of the season. In the beginning, it looked amazing. He had like 2 touchdowns in a row, in 2 games in a row, and then 200-yard games, which was decent. But what happened was Heineke came in, and then McLaurin started playing better with Heineke. I think that they just had a better connection, McLaurin and Heineke. So
I mean, he is their number one.
Yeah, no, and he should be, because he's definitely more skilled at this point, I think, than Dotson is. But Dotson's definitely got those. He's got long arms. He can go over the top of the cornerbacks and really like get those high passes that they throw, especially in the end zone. And that's what they were doing like early. They in the red zone, they gave him two like that they just like threw up, and he just caught right above the corners. But you know what? I'm gonna have to switch my pick though. But I'm not gonna go with a running back like you. I do think that, like I said, if your man gets over 1,000, I think I agree with you. But I'm gonna have to go with Chris Olave from New Orleans. I think that he's actually the best rookie receiver right now, and since Andy Dalton's gotten there, he's played a lot better. And I think Andy Dalton and him have a connection, because obviously Andy Dalton was the backup quarterback, and Olave was, probably a third receiver in training camp, so they definitely had a little bit better connection than the other guys. So I do think that it's going to be receiver this year for this award, though. But it could be what you said, though. I don't know. It's iffy.
Well, no, we'll definitely see. I think you're right. 1,000 yards make it look better. If he don't get 1,000, there's gonna be like I don't know how they're gonna judge it, but I still think he's gonna be the most productive rookie.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's for sure. That's pretty much like those are all the rookies you have to look at as far as offensive. It's really Garrett Wilson and those three. I mean, those three receivers, and then the running back. Like, there's nobody else that's really even on the radar as far as offensive
Yeah,
players, this year.
pretty much, pretty much. But it's crazy. Our next award is comeback player of the year, and my pick was actually the person who is now watching Andy Dalton play for him. So yeah, I don't think my
Yeah,
choice is
so
gonna
yeah.
work out. So why don't we go ahead and hear what I had to say when I thought that Jameis Winston, Mr. Eaton W's, was about to win comeback player of the year. Yeah.
He said, yeah.
About a little bit. He got a nice receiver now that we just talked about coming from college.
That was all
And
of
like
it.
you said, just give him a little time. I think your boy JMO is definitely going to be the comeback player of the year. This was a hard choice because like comeback player means either you just weren't that good before or you maybe fell off a little bit. Or we also talked about how some people who just were injured for you know, for a majority of the season or a few weeks from the year before have a chance of being comeback player of the year just for a full season. So there's a lot. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I definitely thought it was gonna be J-Mo, and he was looking good,
He
but of
was,
course
man.
he got injured. So right now,
Yo, but
we
real
low.
quick, man, like he got injured and he lost his job while being injured, and he had something to say to the media, which was that
Yeah,
you don't usually lose your job from being injured. I mean, other people would like to say that's wrong, like Tony Romo. I mean, he lost a job from being injured. Alex Smith lost a job from being injured. There's others as well. But what do you think about that, real quick?
nah, he definitely at least should have been on the roster to the end of the year. Like he would have. That's definitely messed up. And they definitely and his injury wasn't like permanent. Like even if they said that they want to resign him, they definitely should have owed him to stay on the end of the year, especially because they should be helping him work on his rehab and all that.
Exactly. I think he should have started on the team again. I think he should be the starter, instead of Andy Dalton. That's just me
Yeah,
though.
no, 100%, and it was definitely his team, but they did him dirty. So now we have to go to another team who don't do their quarterbacks dirty. The quarterbacks do them dirty, and we're
Hmm.
talking about the Seahawks. No Russell, Mr. Unlimited is gone, and they didn't know what to do, so they turned it to Geno Smith. And man, oh
Geno
man,
Smith.
is he been having a year?
The
Um,
surprise of the year, I would say. Like
yeah,
the
oh yeah,
surprise
biggest
player
surprise
of
of
the
the
year.
year. 373 yards as a team on offense. Gino is averaging. Well, he's getting 20. He has 20. Jesus, he has 2,800 yards already.
Right.
With 19 touchdowns and only five
Crazy.
picks. So he's very efficient. Obviously, the Seahawks isn't the best of a team, but he has a 107 passer rating. And like I said, 19 and 5 is a great touchdown to interception ratio. So he's getting yards, 72% completion, very efficient passing the ball. And right now he's 16 yards, fifth in touchdowns, and ninth in interceptions. So definitely comeback player of the year material. And I think that he's just been taking that offense by the horns. Like I said, he's very efficient this year. A lot of people didn't expect that from him. And obviously, a lot of people are noticing him this year. So, especially what's going on with how bad Russell is
I
and
know.
and the Broncos,
Right.
no one can help but notice and compare him to the average play of Geno Smith, basically. And that's
Well,
making
no,
Geno look a lot better.
I'll be honest. Like Gino is not playing average right now. He's
He is playing a
playing
little bit above
prolific.
average.
Like
Yeah,
no, he
yeah.
has the number one passer rating in the league right now. Better than Patrick Mahomes. Better than Josh Allen. As far as passer rating goes, he's got the best passer rating. He's top 6 in yards thrown. So I think that
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
obviously his touchdowns are not there like
He's fifth.
in touchdowns.
19th is fifth.
Yeah, I mean that's tied for fifth. Yeah, so that's not bad at all. Honestly, that's not bad at all as far
Nope.
as that team goes. And I
I
think
mean,
that
number
he's
one is
playing
40. Number one is like 30
oh,
something, but
right. Right. I mean, it's probably Patrick Mahomes, right? Number one.
hmm
So yeah.
yeah.
So honestly, I think for what he's doing, he's playing prolific. A top 5 quarterback play when people thought he was going to be a bottom 5 quarterback this year.
Oh, yeah.
People thought that the Seahawks were going to do nothing. People really expected the Seahawks to literally like be one of the worst teams in the league. So.
Oh yeah.
For what he's doing, I'll be honest. Like he's a great player and a great choice for comeback player of the year. But I'll be honest. For my comeback player, I kind of forgot who I chose though. I know that I was going back and forth between some guys, and I definitely was looking at some injured guys. Oh, you know what? I think I do remember who I chose. I think the guy who everyone thought was going to be injured. Go ahead and play that real quick.
A lot of good choices.
Player of the year. I actually have another guy that was injured last year too, and for a similar reason that you said. I think he's gonna have a great year, and he was injured last year, and that's Christian McCaffrey. I think that he's gonna get the ball a lot this year, passing and running. As long as he doesn't get injured again, I do think he's gonna have a good year. Maybe not good enough to get offensive player of the year, but if Lamar Jackson has a slightly better year than Christian McCaffrey, then they probably would give it to him. Now that I'm thinking about it. But another guy that's going to be off many people's radar, I think that Marcus Mariota is going to have a comeback year this year. I think that he's going to fight for a job right now, and I just think that in Atlanta,
he got some weapons.
Exactly, yeah. He's got offensive weapons. Obviously, that defense is pretty bad, but as far as numbers goes, I do think he's going to put up some numbers. I still see them going 6-10.
They're always going to be.
Yeah.
No, he's not the worst pick. He's been struggling as of late, but he had a pretty solid season.
I'll be honest. I mean, he's got over 500 and almost 550 yards receiving, and he's got 680 yards rushing. So not a great year, but as far as doing both, he's doing pretty good for playing 11 games. Yeah, he's only got 4 touchdowns, which is bad, but playing for Carolina. I'll be honest, that was an issue. Since he's gotten on the team now with 49ers, they've definitely been passing the ball a lot to him, a lot more. So I definitely think he could end the year with 1,000, Christian McCaffrey. But yeah, he could. He's projected to, at least. He's projected to. It's just his receiving yards are at 980. They're projected, but his rushing is projected to be over 1,000. But it's gonna be close. But you know what? I'm gonna have to give it to Geno Smith, honestly. I think Geno is the story. Dude. Yeah, he's that dude right now, and I think he's gonna get a huge contract at the end of the year because he's a free agent as well, which a lot of people didn't know.
The Jets, he might go back to the Jets.
Let me find. Nah, I don't think they want him.
The Jets and the Giants are getting rid of their quarterbacks 100%.
Damn, really? Daniel Jones is gone just like that?
Yeah. Man. He was the only last piece staying. Him and Saquon was fighting for a contract, and one of them stepped up, one of them didn't.
I don't know, man, because on Sunday, I was listening to Joe Buck and the commentators. They saw the Jets quarterback that's starting right now. Man,
Mike White.
Mike White, thank you. And they were my man had a decent game. Yeah, it was.
Mike White's not bad, but
they were literally.
If Geno's playing a lot better, performing, he has a better IQ, a lot more years of experience. You might as well give him a decent.
Yeah.
Especially with their rookies around them, they already got a bunch of people they can plug into places. Then they got the money.
Literally talking about Mike White is the next franchise. They were like, Mike White is the next franchise quarterback of the Jets for the next 15 years. You guys are gonna watch Mike White, and I'm like,
they say that about everybody, bro.
I was like, wait a minute. So I'm just laughing about that, but I think
that about everybody.
Geno's definitely a Cinderella story, but I also said about Marcus Mariota in that comeback player of the year, and I think he's going to be in the conversation. They're having
he is in the conversation, but they're falling off right now.
They're one of the worst passing teams statistically, but
they're falling off.
But his rushing is there, and on that division that they're in, they're still in the playoff hunt, which is crazy at 6 or 5 and 6 or 5 and 7, whatever they're at. They're still in the playoff hunt because the Buccaneers are 6 and 6. So yeah, that's a top one in that league. They're literally one game away from playoffs. So
I know.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna be a pretty easy award most likely. It's gonna go to Geno. Yeah, that's what we both think, right?
No, 100%. Definitely think it's gonna. Geno is his award to lose. He don't even have to play prolific. He just got to keep playing decent. And like you said, he is playing more than decent. So 100%. So that leads us to our last award. And it's a good one, and this one's definitely up for grabs, 100%.
Oh yeah.
Probably more up for grabs than the rest of them. And this is coach of the year, and obviously because you got a couple more games and unfortunately a little bit of the playoff to decide whether or not you're deemed this. So who did you choose in the beginning of the season?
So in the beginning of the season, I went with the Minnesota coach, Kevin O'Connell. I thought that Minnesota was going to have a good year, and a really good year, actually. I thought that they were going to be one of the top teams in NFL. So I still kind of believe that. I mean, I think they're definitely a great team. And yeah, let's hear what I have to say about him.
So for this award, I mean, I kind of went off of what I said like earlier. My surprise team of the NFC is going to be the Vikings, and I think they're going to be slightly better than Green Bay. And now that you see that Dallas is lost like Dak Prescott for a while, I don't think they're going to be one of the top teams either in NFC. So I got the Minnesota coach Kevin O'Connell. I think that he's honestly going to do really well with the team he's got around him. Great offense. They got a great defensive front seven, and I do think that with that type of team, they could easily be 12-5, or sorry, yeah, 12-5, or possibly even like 13-4.
Yeah, so I think what I said still holds to be true, man. I think this team is gonna end up being probably closer to 13-4. You know, I think that could be what they end up at. But I think that he's definitely gonna be in the combo this year for being his first year and turning around Justin Jefferson and obviously Kirk Cousins turning him around as well, even though statistically he's not having like
He's
great
always
year,
been
but he's
average.
yeah, he's still like an average top 15, but not top 10. So always average, but he's definitely turned around that defense as well. You thought he was gonna be more offensive minded, but he's turned around that defense as well. So I'm gonna stick with him. I'm gonna stick with Kevin O'Connell. There's other guys that are having good season. I mean the Jets, the Giants you can go with, like Brian Dable is having a good season too, but I think that Kevin O'Connell surprised a lot of people being better than Green Bay and just taking over that division this year.
No, 100%. That's definitely a good pick. Definitely in the conversation. My pick is trash. I completely overestimated the Raiders this year and their ability to get their fucking shit together because they can't get nothing together. And of course, I picked Josh McDaniels thinking he was finally going to do something. And then it finally dawned to me that I actually don't think he's a good coach. So, yeah. So
me and Tebow could have told you that. Me and Tim Tebow could have definitely told you that.
So let me tell you what my dumbass thought in the beginning of the season about the man. So I got Josh McDaniels. So I think the Raiders, after having no identity last year with all the issues with Gruden, I think they finally have the personnel that they need and have a coach who just can push forward an identity. Because last year I remember I had so many issues. Like, are you a passing team? Are you a running team? Like, I don't think they know. I'll be honest. After the first game, I don't think they know. But as long as they have, I think they're gonna go 12-5. And I was right about that. Wrong about that 12-5. God damn. God damn.
I was gonna say, oof, that 12-5 hurt me. I was like, wait.
But I was right about the first part where they still don't have an identity.
Yeah, yo,
I was like, they don't have an identity yet, but it's only a week. Let's hope they get it together. Still have not gotten it together. Still have no identity. I mean, at this point, they're letting Josh Jacobs run the ball a lot more. He's the leading rusher in the league. But you still have literally top 3 receivers in the league and can't do nothing with them. You have no goddamn identity. Like, you don't know what you're doing. So yeah, that's out of the picture. So at this point, it's clear. There's a team right now that no one expected to be 10-1 that is dominating the league. And there's a lot of argument about how they're doing it, why they're doing it, who they're playing against, and blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, 10-1, fourth in total yards on offense, 382.4, second defensive yards, 304.4, third in sacks at 36. Third in rushing yards. Third at this point. 162.5 as a team. Just as a team. Yeah. And first in turnover differential with 13. The second place team has 8. They are playing prolific on both sides of the ball. I don't care who they're playing against at this point. They played against 11 people. It don't matter. They're serious. They're here to stay. They're definitely going to make a deep playoff run. Jalen Hurts is still showing improvements. For me, I'll say deep playoff run is like 2 games because I think they're going to win
That's
the
deep.
division.
Well, I mean,
That's deep.
if they're
If they
first
keep
in
the
the
division, yeah, they're going to be first. Oh,
so
yeah, you're right.
two
They're
games
not.
of Super Bowl, 2 games is getting to
No,
the Super Bowl. You know, if
no,
they're
I think
first,
you're
if they're
right. I think
second, that
they're
means they
getting
get to the championship game. So you think championship?
I think
Because
championship.
I think that's
I think they win. I
plausible.
think they win the
I think that's
division.
yeah, I think so too. I
I
think
think
that's
they win the
definitely
division.
plausible.
Yeah, but yeah, you're right. They are gonna have a top seed. So you're right. I keep thinking they would have to fight their way in like they usually do. But no, they're gonna have a top seed.
I don't know about that top seed. I don't know.
You think the Cowboys gonna knock them off? They literally only lost 1 game already.
I
Like
know,
so,
I know, but there's like 2 teams that are right behind them. Like the Giants are right behind them. Like
not
the
right
Cowboys are
behind them.
2 games. I mean, and they still
Right.
got to play 3 games in the division. So
And that's the thing. The
they win
Giants
out.
don't scare me being right behind them. The Cowboys are the ones that have to pick it up. They're the ones that have to pick it up, and they can close that gap. But I think that the Eagles are still going to keep that gap.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, I agree with you. I think the playoff run for them as well. Championship game for me.
Oh, but yes, his name is Nick Nick
Sir-
Sirianni.
oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
like I literally didn't even say his name this whole
yeah,
time.
yeah,
I just talk about Sirianni, whatever. Yeah,
yeah.
Sirianni. But yes, Nick, your boy Nick is about to win Coach of the Year. But still,
Yeah, I
fuck
mean,
the
definitely
Eagles.
great year. Definitely a great year they're having. Obviously, it surprised a lot of people going 10-0 and then come out and lose a weird game, which nobody thought they were gonna
They didn't
lose.
go 10-0.
What do you mean?
They just won their last. They just won their 10th game.
Oh, they won 9-0. That's right. They lost.
Yeah.
1-1. Yeah. That's right. But I mean, I think that he's definitely up there. He's gonna be up there, 100%. I just think that they're gonna have a tough time at the end of the season with all their division games coming up.
I mean, hey, at the end of the day, I hope the Giants and Cowboys and what Redskins all win.
Oh,
I don't care. I don't care for the Eagles.
Well, nah, I just hope they beat the Cowboys.
Nah, I like the Cowboys. I know it's weird.
America's team, but not.
I mean, they not my team.
All right.
But I got friends and family who fuck with the Cowboys.
Everybody do, right?
Right. I don't have friends and family that fuck with the Eagles really.
But yeah, I'll be honest. Like out of all the picks that we had, like most of them we were very, 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 very close. But that coach of the year, man, how are you
It's
like
anyone's game
on that though? No, on the previous prediction.
Yeah, it's like I said, I overestimated the Raiders, man. I really thought that they were gonna do better as a team. And like I said, you literally got the top rusher in the league right now, and you've had what most people consider the best receiver in the league before this year started, literally doing nothing.
I was just gonna go like how you gonna have literally the top paid receiver in the league, and you have the top rusher in the league as well, and your record is this. Like, come on now, I can't see that happening unless.
Now it's because your quarterback is straight basura.
Yep.
And clearly your coach is too.
I told you, Derek Carr, I don't trust him. I thought that they were going to be third in the division, and I had him third actually, because I think I had Broncos last in the division this year. Yeah, because I had Chargers winning the division and then Chiefs second.
Behind them, yep.
Yep. So I don't know, but I was wrong too, because at the beginning of the season I said that in this division, Raiders, Broncos, Chargers, and Chiefs could all make the playoffs, and I'm totally wrong about that. Only 2 are going to make it. Yeah, I was totally wrong.
Oh my God! And it was the same 2 that we always used to.
And is it crazy that like on the other side, it's like the Giants, the Cowboys, the Redskins, and
no one expected that, and they're still hanging in there.
And not only that, like if you look at the Bills, Miami, like they're and New England, they're all in the conversation too. There's like 3 teams right there that are in that conversation as well. So, and the Jets as well. I missed the Jets. Like they're all 4 of those teams are still in that playoff conversation. So there's 2 divisions right now that all 4 teams could possibly make it in the playoffs.
That's
insane.
Crazy.
That's unheard of, honestly. But that's crazy though. So definitely made some predictions. Now, hopefully at the end of the year we can come back to some of these and see what we have to even say about them. It was awesome doing a reaction episode though.
It was.
Hearing what we had to say previously.
Especially hear the dumb shit I was saying. Eesh.
Like I was totally off on that offensive rookie of the year, 100%. Like, and I mean, on a few of them I was right though. I still think Sauce, I was 100% right, and Justin Jefferson, I was 100% right about him. But the other ones, eh. But you definitely had the MVP like very close, and definitely had, I think defensive player of the year now is probably going to be very close between who you picked, Raekwon Smith, and honestly,
yeah, I hope he gets some recognition.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be interesting too. But anyways, I really appreciate you guys watching this episode, and if you guys want to make your predictions, please go ahead and comment below. Give us all your predictions for who you think the MVP is gonna be, offensive player of the year, defensive player of the year, offensive rookie of the year, defensive rookie of the year, comeback player of the year, and the coach of the year. We want to hear all your predictions and write them down below. Make sure you guys also like the video and click that subscribe button. And go over to our Twitch page if you guys want to check out some of our previous videos, or to our YouTube page if you guys want to check us out there. If you guys just want to listen to us, we're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, so just check us out there.
Literally everywhere.
Exactly. Over like 30 to 40 places. We're also on SiriusXM. If you guys are on SiriusXM, they put our podcast on there a few times a week. That's what I'm hearing. So anyways, if you guys also want to check out our Patreon page, that's where you can check out some of our merch. And if you guys want to ask us questions that we can put on the podcast, you guys can go ahead and go there. If you just do some general support, get into that first membership level, you guys can write any of your questions or send us in some topics. We love to go through like some different type of topics in sports, so we can always check out what you guys have to say and possibly put on the podcast. Other than that, you guys can find us, on our personal pages. I'm at The Iconic Dude, and Mello, you're
Mello the Notorious.
Yeah, and if they want to find us on social media,
you already know. We love the fan interaction. A lot of what we got comes from you guys. We love giving you guys the good sports, quality sports content that you love. And like Yas and Rado said in the beginning of the episode, your fans.
Tell them my government name. Tell them I'm Yasin. It's all good.
But like he said, you're fans and we're fans of you just as we're fans of sports. So we love all our fans. Also, huge shout out to CJ. He's a fan of ours who recently moved from Boston. He entered into our Thanksgiving giveaway. We gave away $50 to help some families out, or a family out, to try to get through the holiday. Just to let you guys know, we definitely want to be able to provide and do the same thing for Christmas with that giveaway. So we do want to say we are doing a Christmas giveaway. We pretty much are going to make a post soon, and all you have to do is like, comment, and share. Let us know your favorite Christmas memory, sports related. Don't matter what sports. Let us know, like, share, and you'll be entered into the raffle to get $50 to help go towards your holidays.
It's as easy as that. Just like, share, post. Easy as that. Write your favorite Christmas sports moment. I'm trying to think of mine, but I already know mine. But I think we should. I think I might know mine, but we might do an episode on that. Episode on that. But oh man, there's a Kobe AI moment where back in the day, 2001. Oof, man, I know it's a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, but it just brings me back. I'm
thinking of something way more recent. Day moment.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of something way more recent. Cavs and Warriors game a couple years ago.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. For sure. That was a great one. It was like Brown versus the Voltron.
Oh man, Kyrie came in and threw in the clutch, man. Top-notch defense played in his face, still hit the jumper. Hell of a game, man.
Definitely. So if you guys want to post your memories, we're going to have that post up soon. And make sure you guys want to enter into our Christmas raffle. Like Milo just said, we just did our Thanksgiving raffle, so we're definitely excited to do the Christmas raffle. So thank you guys again for watching this episode of Who You Got with
Mello
and Rado. And we'll see you on the next episode, y'all. Peace.
Peace.